conclude part 3 of our story. What the Rebbe is quoting from the Frierdiker Rebbe and describing the difference between the Polish Chosid and the Chabad Chosid. So the Chabad Chosid, so we just described what happens when it comes to the Rebbe. So the Maimri didn't understand. He's completely, as he describes that the Maimri said in the morning before davening, you have to daven. And then there's Chazorah, and then there's Mincha already, so he's hungry and he's exhausted, and he's by Chazorah and trying to review it, but really doesn't understand. So the end of the day, he concludes. So the whole Shabbos, the whole day goes, he's exhausted, he's hungry, he's been pressed, the kvetch, the crowd, the Chassidim, and the Maimer, he still doesn't know. And then we described he comes home, and his wife asks him, what happened? And so he's embarrassed to say that if he didn't ask for bracha for Pandas, and they've a daughter that has to get married. Here the Rebbe spoke about Atzilus and High. He's going to take the Rebbe's time to talk about he needs meat for Shabbos. So she's very upset. So therefore, I won't repeat again all the beautiful oasis over here that he's feeling the chassid. So when it comes next time, you can be sure that going back to the Rebbe, it's he doesn't get a nice care package and so on. And she doesn't want him even to go. She says, hire yourself out as a chazan or a shamish. Now so this world he doesn't have. This world he doesn't have. Not in Lubavitch and not at home. Again, I have to point out, this is kind of almost cutesy, but it's not today's world. As we said yesterday, today the wife is the bigger chassid than he is. This is the Deir HaShvi, this is Malchus, this is what the Rebbe effected. It was a big revolution at the time that we should speak to women and they should learn CHOSID'S. It started with the Frierdiker Rebbe. So this is like a classic going back, to the Babich and earlier. But we're learning it, we're reading it to appreciate what the gift that we have today. So we'll continue the story. But the principle remains. The principle remains because it's the point of the Maimer. Satisfaction. Patch the beichel in Yiddish, stroke the stomach. Life is wonderful, and the here to come is gonna be wonderful. That not. So he describes what happens after 120 years. After 120 years, so he comes to the next world. They ask him, "What kind of chassid were you?" So he answers with a breitkeit, how do you say breitkeit in English? Literally broadness. A Lubavitcher, he's a Chabadnik. So they asked him, "Azoy a Lubavitcher?" So what's the Rosh Tevis of Chabad? Do you know? He says, "Sure, I know. Chachma bin Das." They ask him in the heavenly court, then, what's the meaning of Chachma bin Das? He says, Chachma bin Das means that Emunah itself is not enough. It has to be toil and understanding and internalized in the Pnimius. Das Elokecha, know God, your Father, know Him. So says the heavenly court. So let's test you. He gets fahed. What do you know? Now becomes bitter. He's silent. So then the heavenly court says to him, maybe your Rebbe didn't teach you anything, didn't demand anything. Says the Chosid, no. I heard the Maimer once, I heard the Maimer a second time. And even if there were times I could not go to Lubavitch, they sent me the ksav, they sent me the The manuscript. Now starts he really gets grilled. If so why are you? Look at you. So you can understand what the end is. He concludes the story here. End is Gehenna. That's it. Okay, this is the context of a sikha here, which I didn't learn. So, but anyway, that's the bottom line. So, again, as we said yesterday, with the Deir HaShvi, the Deir HaShvi is manifested good on all levels. On all levels, and the Rebbe insists that brachas, every maimer, you don't find this, my friends, in other maimer, in the maimer of the Rebbe at all. That every maimer ends with a bracha for Bonachim Zayin in one way or another, for every yid. Because, first of all, number one, Yidden have suffered enough. This avodah we just described now, Yotze Given. And we don't come in a vacuum. We're all bound up and we continue, and we are reincarnations. But moreover, because ultimately, Dira B'Tachtonim is that it's good on every level, and godliness suffuses and is experienced on every level, even the physical body, and an end of all suffering on every level. So the Rebbe is insisting on this now, and that's now our avodah. Nonetheless, as we said, this story is instructful, not just as an historical. What I'm looking for is of interest. Historical interest is not the word I'm looking for. Historical. At any rate, because this still has to permeate the avodah now. Meaning to say that all of this and all of that, we have to know that all of the brachas and all of the pleasures that we have, it's all a gift. It's all a gift, and it's all because the Eibishter wants to be part of our lives. And that strikes us. That's the ha'or of the etzem ha'nefesh that is striking in the back of our das. Das again means, what am I connected to? What defines me? And doesn't let us rest. So bottom line, should be good and revealed way for everyone. And as he says in the Maimer, we won't disappoint Hashem, and all of this goodness and blessing we'll only use to serve him further. Have a wonderful day.
Shkoyach, thank you.
Thank you.
So that's Toivus, yeah.
I am.